Let's get this junk started. Ooh, my headache is throbbing. Let's see if we can hit 400. I feel like a lot of these videos where I'm hitting a milestone. I mean, okay, so if it was perfectly, and maybe it is, maybe this is why. Maybe every 100 video, I'm using 5 characters, so it's always back on this guy by the time I hit around. But yeah, I feel like I'm always the Marine for these. And here we are again, making another one. When we hit the 420th, we'll be the Marine again. When we hit the 421st, we may not be the Marine. You know, I never even thought about it. It's pretty simple when you think about it. 5 characters, always going to be divisible the same way. Always going to be the Marine. Will be... Oh, God. Damn, that sucked. I didn't even know this bookman existed. Oh, this is a... Actually, it's a pretty good start because we got a key in the second room. The money, terrible. The fact that we only got 3 cents, 6 cents in 2 rooms, not good. But, and the fact that we took damage, also not gonna feel great early on when we're trying to maintain a streak. To maintain a streak, you do everything you can to keep that health up. It's one of the most valuable things, even if there are instances in which sacrificing health for greater benefits is the way to go. There are a lot of instances of that. But this streak has been I mean, it's been a long time brewing. It's more than a year of single video per day runs. I mean, we all know, honestly, I've often recorded more than one a day, and occasionally recorded fewer than one a day by having a backlog. But that average of one a day for 400 damn videos is pretty impressive. And the average of what am I at? Like 9, where is it? This will be 9:59, I believe. That's even impressive. You know what's strange that I've realized, and I don't know if it's true or if it's like a confirmation bias kind of thing, because I started looking for it. When you got 2 gun nuts in the same room, it seems like they drop the same amount. Oh, baby boy. We gotta get money. Like, each of those gun nuts dropped 10. 65 is gonna be hard. And I don't think we're gonna be able to open another chest before we get there. Another key bulletin would be cool. That'd give us some work around. Dude, these rooms where, like, fight three enemies and none of them drop a cent. It's the worst. The worst. I need some more water. We did yoga today. It goes yoga, then like active kind of cardio exercise, and then strength exercise on the 3rd day, and then back to yoga. I've been jogging a lot of days, but not every day. Today I did not jog. I decided to go for to do some yard work instead. Dude, the money. Oh my god, there's a nose hair that's just like curling up into my nose zone. I'm glad I have some range for my shots for this one. This is a fight that I think is actually one of the worst for not having a secondary way to do damage, but it's absolutely worst if you don't have range. Like, if you're the pilot in this one, you're fucked. So the main thing you gotta do, really, is keep space. That being said, just saying the word space reminds me. We've been watching more Space Force. It's really, the cast is fucking incredible. Like, the cast is great. It's not, you know, it's not everybody from Parks and Rec. But like, fucking Malkovich is killing it in that show. I'm loving John Malkovich. Ben Schwartz, always great, and of course Steve Carell is amazing. Lisa Kudrow, very weird role in that show, but good. God damn it, not a fucking key, huh? Not enough money. But it's the worst. It's I don't know why I didn't go into the thing. It's good. The show like is really, I think, it's effective. It's funny. It's weird to see just like what feels like a regular TV sitcom on Netflix that's like made for Netflix. Like, it's got a pretty good budget. They spent some money on a CG monkey and a CG dog, and it's like all 65. Damn it. We already found the secret, didn't we? And you know, it's got the camera work, the post-processing, all that stuff that really feels, that's great. Really feels pronounced. Feels expensive, I guess is the best way to say it. Let me try something. That's how you do it. Okay. I'm gonna try this with mouse and keyboard. Worth every penny. So that's 3, right? Oops. Come on, Ammonamabot. Hey! Hi, Kyle. How you doing? We got a wild Kyle in the wild. Wild Kyle, wow. Wild Kyle, wow. We're going this way. I haven't been streaming. Streaming is kind of stressful. I've been putting videos up on YouTube every single day, but streaming is like, I got a weird relationship with streaming right now. You know, I enjoy it when it's good. A lot of the time it feels like kind of a why bother thing. And also I've been doing a lot of stuff outside of streaming. I'm still locked down. Are you safe, Kyle? I don't want to talk about the riots and the protests that are going on too much, but I know that ATL was hit pretty rough. I saw Killer Mike's video. Okay. Which was really touching. I'm glad to hear you're doing okay. But yeah. I see you've been streaming a bit as well. Ooh, I love the little bomber. I think I actually want to save some shots in this gun in case there's another shop. A smidgen? Oh yeah, streaming. Yeah, it seemed like there was a week when you were working on the level up mod that you were putting in like 3 or 4 hours a day of streaming, and then after that it's kind of petered out. I have respect for people who can do this every day as a career, because oh boy, because honestly it's like, I don't know, having that kind of, those kind of eyes on you is like exhausting. And I don't even have many eyes on me. I have very few eyes. But like putting yourself in the public space, I would much rather do videos every day where I can interact with people afterward. But for milestones, I like to do those live. I mean, you shouldn't work on Gungeon stuff. You could stream a lot of other stuff. You have a much more, like a robust following of people than I currently have. And I know a big part of the reason that my following has shrank. Well, there's two reasons. One, I get too political. Sorry. And two, I'm pretty inconsistent. Look at all those pennies. Pretty inconsistent with the streaming. I don't like having a schedule. I actually need to take that stream schedule thing just off my page. I thought I did, but then I saw that it was still up there, so we'll never know. We'll never know. What have you been doing recently? You're teleworking, right? Yeah, it's hard to keep a following. Ah, damn it! When you, that's cool. I think that, like, hopefully you can keep that going forever. I think that the greatest potential outcome of the whole pandemic, I don't know if it's going to be an outcome, is people treating work from home not as, like, a secondary shitty option. I understand that there's some things that it makes a lot more sense. Like, I couldn't work from home. But for the people who can, it is so good. Like, psychically. Like, their psyches can be so benefited from it. I know that a lot of, like, more social people, and people who think that, like, hands-on collaboration is the best way to go, they might see the negative part, but, like, having the option, it just makes sense, you know? How has it been treating you? The from-homeness of your work. Man, these ducks. These fucking geese go straight for the freaking walls. Oh, at least there's no thing on that. Small victories, you know. I think it's so I've been working on not working, but I've been writing, and you know, I remember back when I worked in an office, like when I worked in an office with other people around me the whole time, I would work for a few hours. Yes, a mimic. You know, I'd work for 30 minutes or so, and then I'd find some way to get up and walk around, or I'd chat with somebody about something, or I'd do something else, and it always still felt like I was working, because that's just part of what working in an office is. It's like, there's the communication aspect of it, there's the bullshitting, there's the, like, figuring out where you're gonna have lunch, there's all that kind of stuff that, like, when you're at home, it feels like you're really distracted. Like, I've been writing on my iPad, and then I'll find myself, like, looking at websites, because I'll fall into, like, a little website hole where I'm checking something, and then I'm, like, looking, like, oh, because I needed, at one point I was, somebody has to use a loom. I don't know how looms work. So I am looking at looms, and then I'm, like, checking all this other stuff out about looms and all this other stuff, and it's like, I find myself far away from where I started. And it's not different. Like, you realizing that, you know, perhaps you're just more aware of it, I think is very important, because it's kind of acceptable to be distracted at work, as weird as that sounds. Whereas at home, you have the pressure of you feeling like you're not doing your thing. Like, it's included in the social aspect of being at work until people don't want you to do it because they have quotas to meet or whatever, and then they can come down on you about being distractible or anything like that. I'm sure that if there were like productivity metrics, you'd be at or around as productive as before. Yeah. I don't leave any... Oh, that's exactly what I needed. So, Gilded Bullets are going to be 78. As soon as we get that, we have, like, infinite money. I don't leave chat up. I kind of left, like, Nate was streaming yesterday while I was writing. And I left that up, but I would, like, silence it and then turn it off and focus for a bit and then pop in and see how he's doing and stuff like that. But overall, I don't feel like I'm actually getting less work done than I would if I, was sitting in an office. Also, I really like the free-form approach to time when I'm working from home. Like, not about 8 hours with a guaranteed at noon split. I kind of work when I work and I stop working when I am at a stopping point. And then I work sometimes late into the night, sometimes not very late into the night at all. Sometimes I start working way later than I should, and it feels like I'm doing it wrong, but other times it's like, man, I got some of my best stuff here. 78, we need 78. Yeah, I totally feel like if I had chat up on a lot of these runs, I would have a harder time. Ah, okay, had to use a blink there. That was like one of my worst dodges ever. I felt myself roll right into position. Are you supposed to be working at this very moment, Kyle? Nice. You're fine. I was going to tell you to turn off the stream. Give me money, you buttholes. That's how you show the man. How do they do, how do they do like productivity measurements or metrics or anything like that? Dude, when I was working at the office, if I had to poop in the morning, I would hold it in until I got to work. I would never not poop on the company dime. This sucks. I don't want to do this. Oh well. Had to. Like, I would never in a million years suffer the indignity of pooping for free. And that's one of the things I kind of feel about, like, that's bullshit about work. I don't know. I've talked about this before, so sorry for the repetitive nature of this dialogue, but I've never felt anti-work before, right? I never felt like against the idea, the concept of work. And when it's time to go back, I will gladly go back and I'll do my part, etc., etc. But for the first time in the history of my life, I feel less like... Oh, nice. Scrum sounds gross, though. I should probably think of a less, like, bodily sounding name for it. Okay, got the... What's up, baby? Okay. You okay?
Yeah.
I can't open any of these chests. This sucks. You're gonna look at your computer? What are you gonna look at?
I'm gonna look for a new game.
Oh, okay. Kyle says hi.
Hi.
He says good. That's a bummer of a bunch of chests. Bunch of locked chests. Junkin would be cool. Oh man, we got so much. We put all of our money eggs into one money basket. How's Hannah been doing? I know she's been working like in person with people and stuff. Is she doing okay?
Pick him up.
Yes.
Oh, he misses Cheddar.
Your Jacker, in case you were curious.
What was the dog?
That's good. You guys still keeping the same date for Wed Zone? Wedsing.
Oh, this is being a shit hard time
Oh yeah. Yeah, I tried. Okay, I tried to get Jackie to this stream on her own. I tried for a long time.
That wouldn't help your stream.
But it would help people getting
I'm like the hype man back here.
their the fill of you, which is the thing they're missing.
Everyone wants to get filled up of me. Sounds gross.
I'm just waiting for you to turn that into something disgusting.
Nope. Eat me out. No. I'm sorry. That was rude of me. Ask Kyle what's a good game for me.
Jackie wants to know what's a good game for her. She really liked, she played this game called Never Song, which is similar to Inside. I think you should play Gris, or Gree, that game that I was playing that, I have it. It's, you know, slow-paced, not like super technically challenging, very pretty. Like puzzles you can kind of, you know, just slowly figure out and stuff. Machinarium or later alligator, he says.
What's the first one?
Machinarium, it looks like machine plus arium.
Let's see. Oh, is this like an older one? I think I might have played this. Yeah, I played this one before.
She says she's already played Machinarium. Come up with better ideas.
Yeah, that was a shitty idea because I already played it. What was the second one?
Later alligator. He's crying.
Aww.
He's crying little
It
tears.
just looks funny.
Oxenfree says squirrel.
I think I played that one already too.
Oxenfree, is that the one where it's like a bunch of kids at on an island or something?
Yeah, that's the kind of game I like though.
Yeah, those are good suggestions though. Those are up her.
But I also
alley.
like scary but not too challenging games.
She says scary but not too challenging is her MO.
Resident Evil 4, the perfect game.
She still thinks Resident Evil 4 is the perfect game. I wish you would just like get closer to the mic so I don't have to repeat everything that you say.
You like Resident Evil 4?
Oh, After Party. I've heard good about that one. Yeah, I think After Party would actually be a perfect fit. It's about I think like death is like a party. Like when you die, you go to a party instead of the afterlife. It's the after party, kind of the whole thing.
Let's see, what's another one? Night in the Woods is good.
You should look at the ones that they've suggested. Oxenfree and Later Alligator, or After Party and Later Alligator.
Later Alligator looks good. I also have played like
Damn it.
many hundreds of hours of Animal Crossing at this point.
Which she almost did not buy because she didn't trust me about it being her type of game. So Sims-esque games are good too. There's not a lot of those.
That's not necessarily the kind of game I'm looking for right now.
I bet it would be as soon as you started it.
Yeah, I know.
Puzzle Agent. There's that Double Fine one. Here's something, a warning that I want to give that she might get upset about me saying.
Don't call me the B word again.
No, I wouldn't. Not when people can hear.
Hoi, hoi, hoi.
But if there's going to be a part where the puzzles get too complicated, and if there's one puzzle that is a mandatory puzzle that she gets stuck on, it might be the death knell of that game. Jazz Punk is maybe too insane for her.
Like I would never play a game like this one that's happening.
You don't have to put your hand in front of my eyes, Jackie.
Sorry. Oh yeah, I think I saw Cloudpunk was recommended for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Jazz Punk is too weird. I don't think it's a challenge. I think it's just like, it's nonsensical, and it's like, it's nonsensical in a like Newgrounds kind of way. Man, do people even know what Newgrounds is anymore?
No, I don't.
Newgrounds was an old website where like videos and Flash arcade games and stuff like that were made way back in the day.
Huh. Toss the turtle.
Toss the Turtle sounds like a sex name, like Cleveland Steamer or something like that.
What's that mean? Poop something?
Cleveland Steamer, yeah, I think it's just shitting on somebody's chest.
Oh. Is that what they do in Cleveland?
I think it's what someone has done in Cleveland. Oh, okay. Yeah, I watched a lot of like videos on Newgrounds back in the day. Dude, I don't know if this is gonna be a flawless. I don't feel like it is. I don't feel like I have what it takes to flawless this guy today. Well, the extra damage from the Gilded Bullets is going to help. And it's also going to help that I have a bunch of blanks with the Elder Blank. The El Derby.
There was the part.
Please, wait. Yeah.
I wasn't sure since you were still talking.
No, I'm talking because it just, like, it keeps me from fixating on this, but you just popping up out of nowhere scared the shit out of me. Kind of forgot you were there.
Sorry.
Sorry, that was a weird reaction. You just thanks.
I thought we were like still conversing.
There we go. Okay, flawless, and now we can go back to normal.
I was just gonna say there was a part in Neversong where there were like things being thrown at me, and it reminded me of Gungeon, how you have to like just look at what's directly in front of you instead of.
Plug and Play actually does look really good. I like the art style a lot. If I'm thinking of the right game. I told her her story, which I think is a great game that she'll extremely enjoy. There's a lot of games that I've suggested that she's kind of like, and then just goes on and does her own thing.
I think I don't feel like playing games like Life is Strange right now or anything. Like how that was just kind of like not much gameplay, more like story listening.
Okay.
So I want something sort of gameplay.
And I think by gameplay she mostly means platforming stuff. That seems to be the focus. Stanley Parable. I would recommend that game. I don't know if it's her thing. I already have it. You can play my copy of it.
God, I can't get it. Oh God,
You're like shaking my whole thing.
Just tear your computer down.
I mean, like all of the monitors were just like rattling around. Oh, it's probably in here.
Stanley Parable.
Yeah. Stanley Parable is great. It's a game that is meant to be played many, many times. I still haven't gotten all or even most of the endings. I need to check back with Stanley Parable to see if I got the 5-year achievement. What is it, like you don't play the game for 5 years to get the hardest achievement? Yours is in March of next year. I don't know if because I might have uninstalled it. I don't know if it still counts.
Yeah, I'll play that.
It's called like Go Outside is the achievement.
That's the one, Kyle. Good job.
Stanley Parable? I already have a copy of that. I mean, you can buy it again to support the publisher.
$15.
Yeah, that's nothing. Just buy the game.
Who's gonna buy it?
Give good developers money. You're gonna feel weird playing that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in a good way.
Let's look at it.
Again, I love that. Like that's the game that works. Stanley Parable is not. It's not a like a story-driven game, but it's not also. It's also not like a super gameplay-driven game, but it is probably more in line with what you're looking for. It's closer to The Witness without all the like puzzle screens, you know. You can't play the game without taking damage.
My mom commented on that post I put up with the stuff I said.
Oh, good.
You're married.
Sure.
When you two got married, I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I didn't intervene. You're both wonderful people, and I appreciate the trust and place in your talk. I don't always agree with your views, but that's part of developing solutions to listen to people's views. I couldn't be prouder of both of you for trying to fix the world somehow we can do it.
That's nice. Why isn't this?
Parts of it were nice.
Yeah. I think if I had gotten hit in that second room, I would have still lost the thing because it still seemed to have the challenge going on. Cosmic Star Heroine. Hey man, I still like Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VII Remake is one of my favorite RPGs in a while. I think the last two JRPGs that I really liked were Final Fantasy VII Remake and Persona 5. Since then, other than those two, I haven't had a lot that I've been in love with. I played a little bit of... I played the first Bravely Default, but once you started, like, looping so many times, I was like, alright. I get it. I understand the looping. I understand the reason. I know that it's changing subtly over time. But, like... It wasn't enjoyable to just have fights that I'd already figured out just be tankier, you know? Ooh, that was lucky. Oh shit, that's a mimic. I realized it's very soon after. Oh man. I guess I just don't like... I don't mind cutscenes. I don't mind very story-driven elements in games, you know? Like... Even though Final Fantasy VII Remake felt like it slowed down to have cutscenes and dialogue and stuff like that, it always felt like the game was moving quickly. I felt like I was done with Final Fantasy VII Remake way sooner than I thought I would be. And I think Phantasy Star, it's either 2 or 4 that I played on the Genesis that I got like locked in a certain town or something. Like, I fucking loved that game, and I never finished it. I love the combat system in Final Fantasy or Phantasy Star 4. I wish they didn't both have the word fantasy in them. Ah!
What am I?
What I mean, what? I mean, what are you? What? Alright, once I hit 500 casings, I can stop pushing so hard with this one, but I probably won't stop completely because it's a great room starter. And if I cross 500, I'll still be able to sell. Or I'll still be able to buy stuff. The bees are going to come. Bees are increasing in damage also, I believe. I believe. Yeah, I remember Phantasy Star 4 being like so like stylistically set. Dude, don't give me. I'm not gonna take your active item system. Those are two of the freaking shittiest chests I've ever opened in my entire ding dong life. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Why aren't you playing the game? Is what I'm asking.
I will.
It's like already downloaded. It's a very it's not a very sizable game.
Or
No. I mean the download size. It's like an older game. It's just made off of Gary's mod, which is like Half-Life 2, I think.
should I use my controller?
Probably. You play all games with controller.
I'm sure they're typing it in.
No, it's not typing it.
Oh wait, whoops.
What? I wonder if I'm just like at regular accuracy playing as the Marine and having the eye patch. Because it definitely doesn't feel like I'm like crazy inaccurate. I guess I'm also staying pretty close to most enemies. Oh, it's gonna be me versus the bees chasing these guys down. Trying to turn them into cash money. Ah, ghost. Whoa, that game looks a lot better than I remember it looking. Oh, she's already chuckling. I think she's sold.
It's like Stanley went around and took every single thing in the office and didn't make a difference their way.
Yeah, you're gonna love that. The narrator is great. I just don't... If you beat the game, quote unquote, you're not done, just so you know. There's like no end to the Stanley Parable. Wow, that did a lot of fucking damage. Thanks. I'm glad I had the Elder Blank for that, because that was a worthless gall-darn secret room. Well, not worthless, but you know what I'm saying. Not as worthful as I would like. What are your plans today, Squirrel, I mean, and Kyle? And I might actually get hit here. Oh boy, the accuracy decrease on this one. I can definitely feel, I can feel the eye patch on this one. Oh, nice. That pool sounds nice. What kind of software do you use for work? If it's not prying to ask. If it is, then just don't answer and I'll get the hint. Whoa! Maya. Maya, oh Maya. Man, if Adobe didn't cost $1 billion per year, I'd be all about Adobe. I've had to use so many knockoff products and stuff. Like I use Procreate now, which took me a while to realize the name just means have sex. But I use that on the iPad, and I use GIMP on the computer. I wish I had After Effects. I would love to get into like GIF making and video editing and stuff like that. Or more into video editing. I used to do a little bit of video editing. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I like, but you know, it's like I think Adobe now is like $700-800 or something to buy it outright, and that's like that's a good chunk of change. You know, that's like I don't know. I'm using Google Docs to do my writing because Microsoft Word is $100 a year. I totally understand the software as service model. I don't love it. But I understand. Oh, I'm just using 2 shotguns, aren't I? I should probably use something that isn't a shotgun. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think just Photoshop is like $800, $700-800. I'm sure that if you're getting the whole Adobe suite with Illustrator and After Effects and everything else, it's up there.
Oh!
Jesus Christ.
I died.
Did you jump out the window?
I was on the platform and I just walked right off. $4,000 per license? Jeezy Pete, that's a lot of money. You can maybe make this fit the screen. Oh, that's okay.
I mean, okay. It's
It's fine.
very easy to do, and I'm sure you'd appreciate it after it was
Oh,
there.
that's nice.
That's the one I want first. Let that guy sit there poisoned. Ooh, bees. Those guys are real bee problems. There we go. You know I wasn't going to keep my word about no longer using the little bomber. You know that about me, everybody. Like, come on, just shut up about it. I hate that they, like, I get it. In capitalism, you can charge whatever you want, and it's up for the market to decide, right? Like, but it's weird how, like, how people are just like, well, you know, you want to use a good product, you got to pay $600 a year for it. That's fair for software. It's like the way that it feels to me. Wow, Jackie. Look at all those cables. Look at all those cables. Hilarious. You know, what it feels like to me is like this is maybe a stretch. Just bear with me. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it's maybe a stretch to start. $100 a month. What it feels like is it's gatekeeping. Basically, you cannot. If there's a profession out there that requires that you need to know how to use Photoshop or Illustrator or something like that to a certain level to get the job, and you can't afford to get the program in order to learn it, you can't go back to school for whatever reason, you are out of options. You cannot have that job. You can't be a part of that world, that experience. And like, it's such a burden. It's like people are like, why don't poor people just get jobs? And it's like, well, because most jobs you have to dress a certain way, and if you can't afford, you can barely keep it together to pay your bills because of your economic situation, and then you have the the expectation to buy and upkeep nice clothes for the job, etc., etc. Like it's always, there's always these like invisible gates that make it harder for people to get started and stuff, and it's like that frustrates the absolute hell out of me because, like, you know, I didn't go to school for illustration. I would love to do illustration work, and I've used GIMP and I've used Procreate, I've used some other like programs to do it, but like I'm not going to buy a license for Illustrator to teach myself to potentially maybe get a job doing illustration, you know? Like, yeah, I don't know. I do love that there are open source options, and a lot of the time with art jobs, with things like that, you provide a portfolio, or you show some work, you provide some demos or examples of your work, and you don't necessarily need hard proficiency in a certain program. But I guarantee most of these places, once you get started, you're going to need to use specifically Adobe. Where are you going? Okay. You're going to need to use whatever program they have on their systems, and it's not going to be GIMP. It's not going to be Cavalry. It's not going to be, the cheaper version of these things, and it's a setback. I don't know. Like, it's frustrating. I don't know what the solution would be besides more open sourcing, promoting piracy, I guess. Woo! But it's weird. This whole world is like, it's fucking weird. This whole world is weird and inconsistent, and it favors the already favored, you know? What's the term in, there's a term in terms of game design. It's like inverse rewards or, no, what is it called? Basically, it's like, here's the example. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, that's exactly it. It's like why Microsoft Word makes it so hard for you to, like, you can, they put it on your computer, then you have to buy the license to use it, and, you know, you can save things in the right document, but it won't format correctly and all kinds of stuff. Like, that's why I'm just using Google Docs for writing. But yeah, it's exactly that. It's a way of, like, keeping the riffraff out. Like, again, I feel like maybe that's a little extreme of a way of saying it, but that's the sensation that I get. Oh, a blank is so good. Or an amulet is so good. Yeah, I'm just going to keep using Google Docs. Google Docs actually works really great because I do a lot of my writing at my computer, and then I got the iPad, and I just have the Google Docs app, and I do a lot of writing there because I got the keyboard. So I'm set right now, but you know, it's just it's an example of, like, the kind of arbitrary gatekeeping that you find with these programs. Man, you can do that a lot faster. Oh, I'm almost out of ammo for this. That sucks. I really wish I had filled it up. It's one of my favorite guns in the game. He's shooting data. Yeah, there are workarounds for most of these. I don't know what to use to finish this off. There we go. Yeah, Linux has been something that a lot of people have expressed to me as something that it's, like, worthwhile to get into. And then every time I'm like, well, will you show me how to use Linux? They're like, oh man, there's just so much to learn. You just got to kind of jump in there. I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Everybody's like, you got to just kind of, you know, got to know how to do this. So if you don't know how to do that, I don't know how to get you started to that point. So I can't. Yeah, it's got its own gates. No, I think Moses is here. Yudum bottom, bodum, bodum bottom, bodum. I might have to pause. This is kind of unprofessional, and I know that this is my paid professional job. But I might have to pause. Dude, well, okay, so, like, I started, I got GTA 5 for free, and then I started modding it, and on the Discord page for the mods, there's a lot of people running into similar problems, you know, but there's not a clear expression of where on the Discord page to find solutions to those same problems that a lot of people are having. And since the problems have come up frequently, people are generally pretty pissed if you ask the question. And I've noticed a lot of times that people will just say, like, hey, this question's already been asked. And, like, there's hundreds of people on the Discord page asking questions. The chat is constantly just, like, scrolling up. So it's hard to find it. And I get being asked the same question 50, 60, 70 times a day is frustrating. But, like, I don't know why then like a FAQ isn't made or whatever. But yeah, when you run into problems in a lot of these things, the expectation is that you'll already know how to fix it, not that people will help you through it. And if you don't know the fucking product, you don't know how to fix the problems brought into being from the product. Like, I don't know. I think it's an issue with tech in general. There's an in group and an out group kind of almost inherent. And it's up to people to waste hundreds of hours figuring out problems, the answer to problems with easy solutions, because other people feel like they had to suffer through it. You know, like, I don't know. It's just always been weird to me with tech stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's not as bad as it used to be. You can find a lot of YouTube videos for stuff, and like I got Procreate, right? I got that for the iPad. I don't know anything about it. I didn't know how to copy and paste on the program, right? And I just like had to keep looking and looking and looking, and eventually found different people on YouTube that were actually helpful without being. Yeah, exactly. The FAQ is just as bogged down as the manual or whatever. And, you know, terminology that's just there for the people who inherently know how the product works. Whoa. Bottom. I wonder why humans are so, like, why everything becomes an us versus them, like an inside versus outside kind of, inside versus outside kind of situation. Like, is it just our fundamental nature to be exclusive? Like, I was thinking today about, never mind. I don't want to talk about it because I'm trying to, on this video at least, I'm trying to avoid the elephant in the room. Yeah, I'm almost done with this run. I'm gonna say hi to him and talk to him.
Also trying to install him.
Is he coming in?
Well, he's in the basement now.
Okay. Did you open up the outside door for him?
You just let him in for the regular things.
Oh, okay.
Naya's just got tested for COVID, so.
I don't. Okay.
Yeah, I know. But,
I mentioned this in my Discord. The term political is a fucking shield. It's a shield for people who don't want to hear your opinions about stuff to use against you expressing your opinions about stuff. Anything that they disagree with you on, or feel that, you know, you don't have any right or whatever to speak about, they can throw up the word political. It's an impenetrable wall. Welcome back, Kyle. And I hate it. And I hate that it's like such an effective tool for end of the run. Nah, just keep playing the game. If you like Gungeon, is right there in the name. You play Gungeon, you just shoot the guns, guys, and then you're good and you ain't got nothing to worry about. Now, this has actually turned out to be a pretty good run without being too over the top. Dude, I did a run, and if any of you watch my YouTube videos, I don't think anybody that's here does, which is okay. Whatever. It's a different thing. If you're looking for straight on engagement, YouTube doesn't provide that. If you're just looking for somebody playing Gungeon and talking about stuff, then that's fine on the YouTube. However, the day that the protests started and everything, I did a silent video because I still am doing my daily Gungeon stuff, etc. But I did my fully silent video where I didn't say anything. It's not silent. There's still game audio or whatever. But damn, I used a lot of blanks on that guy. And it's like one of the best runs I've ever had. I got hit once on the Blobulord, and that's it, the entire run. I got the 4-leaf clover. I got, or the 7-leaf clover, excuse me. I got, I didn't get a clone, but I got a ton of other shit. That was just ridiculous. Like, getting hit on the Blobulord fucking stings, too. That is not a, that is not a worthy place to take damage. But it was honestly one of the best runs I've ever had. I got the 7-leaf clover a little late. I only got 2 floors of boosted chests, but before that I had already had 2 other black chest items. I had got 1 S-rank item, I can't remember what, and then I had another black chest before that. So it was like a ridiculous run. And it's really worth checking out if you, what day was it? It'll go up on the 3rd of June. I don't know when this video is going up. I think the 6th, so 3 days ago. That was a great run, though. Look at all that money. Less than an hour. Anytime it's less than an hour, I feel like it's a great biggie. A great big O. All right, I gotta go say hi to Moses. I love you guys. I'll be right back.